Hello crafters, welcome to another video. If I'm whispering a little bit, it's because it's very late at night and I'm crafting while everyone's asleep. Today's tutorial is a beginner-friendly start to finish tutorial on how to make the rolled paper flowers with cardstock. I'm actually adding it to a shadow box. So I tried to film a live of me doing it, didn't work out. Kids kept waking up, so we're going to do it on the camera. That way, if I need to pause, tend to my children, we can do that. At Michael's, I got buy one, get one free shadow boxes. So I ended up making this, and I'm gonna show you how to do it on this one. I did film a little 2-minute clip on how to do it, but I'm going to do a beginner-friendly version, including all of the steps. You can ask any questions if you think I missed something or you need more clarification. The next thing is we're going to talk about what materials we're using for today's video. So let me grab it. So this is what I picked up. Honestly, I was trying to pick up the 12 by 12 cardstock at Michael's. They didn't have it. So I just got this. This is 8.5 by 11. Any cardstock you have will do, any color, whatever you want. I decided to go with the bright ones. I thought it would be fun. So that's what we're going with today. And you can you'll see what I mean, but you can use as many as you want. So there's not essentially like a limit or an amount you need. It's kind of your own preference to what size, because you could make one rolled flower on one sheet, or you could add multiple on a sheet. So we'll get into that in a little bit. So you're going to need cardstock. You don't necessarily need a frame, you could just make the flowers for something else, but I'm putting it in a frame like I just showed you. So this is a shadow box frame, and what it is, if you don't know, it has the glass on the outside and the space in between for you to be able to fit things inside. So that's what I picked up there. I'm pretty sure you can find them cheaper at like IKEA and places like that, and Michael's sometimes has good discount codes. It kind of depends. So try to shop around a little bit, see if you can get a good deal, because shadow boxes can be a little bit expensive. I'm using a hot glue gun in this one. I picked this up at Michael's for $3, I believe, but it's okay if you don't have a hot glue gun. You can use any type of glue, tape, whatever you want to stick the flowers together to kind of close them, and then also to stick them to your shadow box frame. So whatever method of stickiness you want to use works awesome. I prefer to use a hot glue gun, but you choose. Now we're going to jump on over, share my screen, and get started. There are a lot of different options when it comes to finding the rolled paper flower cut files, but I am getting mine from Creative Fabrica. So I'm going ahead and typing in rolled paper flowers, and that's going to come up. I'm just going to scroll and find the one that I like. Perfect. So this is the one that I did for my first shadow box that I showed at the beginning. Now, because I have their membership, it is unlimited free downloads for me. And luckily enough, right now the membership I got was $1 for the first month. So I get to try it out, see if I like it. And then if I don't, I could totally cancel my subscription and it only cost me $1. Otherwise, I can renew again for $19 a month, which is 30% off. It's a really good deal for the amount of designs that I get. I mean, it's wild. Thousands of designs for free. And the great thing is, as you can see here, commercial usage allowed, which means I can actually sell these products because it has the commercial license included. A huge bonus, because you cannot sell things that are for personal use, which most files that you get for free are only for personal use. They also have fonts and stuff, which is really cool. Anyways, so for today I'm using the rolled flower SVG bundle. I'm going to hit download. All of the information for Creative Fabrica will be linked in the description box below, so you can check it out if you want as well, and try your first month for $1. You'll be saving a lot of money because normally cut files are a few dollars each, and this is only $1 for unlimited downloads on all of their fonts, cut files. There are so many. Highly recommend you check them out. One of you actually suggested them to me, so thank you so much, because it has been a game changer to my crafting. I'm using a Windows computer and it will not let me film my folder, so I'm just going to show you on here. So I went into my file folder and I hit downloads, and this is the file that I just downloaded. Now you can see the zipper, that means it's a zipped file. So I'm going to right click with my mouse and go down to where it says extract all. Then you're going to hit extract and it's good to go now. So we can go to Cricut Design Space and I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. So the first thing we're going to do is go down to this upload button and hit upload image, browse. On my Windows computer, these are the zipped files, and then if I go to the bottom, I see the unzipped one. So it's normally hiding at the bottom of my downloads folder. I'm going to double click it and then click on this one. I'm going to choose SVG, and this is a bundle, so it has a lot of different ones. So I'm going to go ahead and upload this one. So for this one, I went ahead and did the same process to upload image, browse, and then I uploaded all of these. They were all in the bundle and just labeled under different number of flowers. I also got these leaves in the bundle, so really cool little set. So now I can select which one I want and hit add to canvas. The first thing I'm going to do is just size this down a little bit and move it over. I am going to go to shapes and select this square. I'm going to move it down just so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. Now when I hit this unlock button up here, it's going to allow me to change the width and the height, which is what I'm going to do for my cardstock template. So my cardstock is 8.5 and the height is 11. Now I'm just going to lock that in so it doesn't change on me. Okay, so the reason I'm doing this is a template for my own reference. I'll make it a little bit lighter. This is the size of my cardstock, so I need to make sure, I'm just going to bring this forward, I need to make sure that whether I'm just cutting one flower on each one or maybe I'm making them mini and doing multiple, that it fits within this template. Now I'm going to make sure to take away the template before I go to cut. So what you do is you just hit this little eye and it's gone. Or if you really don't want it, you could just delete, whichever you prefer. I always refer back to it after for later cuts, but if I know my cardstock's that size anyways, so I just hide it with the little eye here. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and do a large one, but I'm actually wanting to do this flower. This flower right now is my favorite, so I'm going to go ahead and size it to as large as it will let me on the cardstock that I'm using. And I am good to go. So the next step is just to hide that little template and I can hit make it. Now, something I did want to mention to you, I'm going to go back first and show you. If I were doing multiple on one template or on one cut, if that makes sense, like this, what you're going to do is hide it, then highlight over all of them and hit attach. This way when you go to cut it out, it's going to cut it on your sheet like this, just like it looked on our little template. If you don't hit attach, it could be all over the place, this one up here, that one down there. It might not even all cut properly on the same sheet. So it's really important to attach if you are using a template like me here and you're wanting to line it up like so. I like to leave a little bit of space around the edges because sometimes the cardstock is a little off on the mat and then I don't want it to cut through my flower design. Make it. I'm going to continue. And it's going to take one little moment here. Perfect. The setting I'm using right now is light cardstock, and that's just because of the certain cardstock I'm using, depending what you're using, but the one I'm using from Michaels, it's not the one that has texture to it, so I just went ahead light cardstock, and for my machine with my brand new blade, it's been working really great. Feel free to change the settings to something else if you need, or adding extra or less pressure. So now we're going to hop on over to setting up our mat and loading our Cricut. So I have my standard grip mat here. You could also use your light grip mat. Honestly, this one's been used pretty well, and I would suggest that because when I used my brand new mat that's over there, it stuck on there real bad and I had a heck of a time trying to get it off. So try to use a mat that's been used a little bit already if possible, just not as sticky if you can, or use one of the light grip mats. I'm going to go ahead and select a color from my cardstock. So I like to pull a few different colors that kind of match, just my own personal preference. So we're going to go in first with this light blue. I'm going to line it up on my mat with the numbers they have along here and flatten it on there with my hand. And now I'm ready to go on over to my Cricut and load in my mat. So let's go over there. So I've turned on my Cricut Explorer Air 2, and these are the two guides that we're going to put our mat into. So I'm going to go ahead and lightly put it against this roll. I'm not pushing it hard, I'm just lightly placing it with my hand. And you can see that arrow is flashing. So I'm going to push it. It's going to pull it in a little bit. And then we have the C that's flashing to tell me I'm good to go. My materials are set. Everything is good. It is loaded, so I can press the C. It's going to cut it. So I'm going to let it cut, and then I'll be back. Perfect. So I know that my mat is done. 1, on Cricut Design Space, it says unload material. And 2, this little arrow starts flashing at me. I'm going to hold my mat with one hand just to support it and push this button, and then my Cricut kind of spits it out. Now we can go on over to the table and take this off the mat. So when I'm removing it off the mat, I take my little spatula tool, flip the mat upside down, and slowly, carefully kind of scrape it down so it comes off and peels off. Okay. Hello. I have my other flowers all along. Okay, so it's going to look something like this. So you can start peeling it away, like so. A little bit. It's actually a lot easier if you peel it away on the mat as well, but then you kind of have the cardstock left on there, the backing, so whatever you prefer. I'm just gonna go ahead and pull this all off. Just gonna weed the whole thing, and then I'll be back. Once it's all done and weeded, you're gonna have something that looks like this. It's a spiral, and that's what we're going with. So we are going to start from the top. So I take the top and I slightly fold it. This is the very top of the spiral, if you see up here. Okay, start rolling it. And I put one finger on the bottom and the other finger on the top. I don't really push, but I just kind of guide it with my finger, if that makes sense, as I'm spinning it. Now that it's getting a little bit thicker, I'm able to just support my fingers like this to keep the shape of it, if that makes sense. That way the bottom all lines up. So you just keep spinning until you get to the end. Okay, there are a couple tricks to do this faster, which for today's tutorial I'm not going to get into because I'm trying to keep this as simple and beginner friendly as possible. So it's a little bit more time consuming to roll them by hand, but I would say, or I would argue, it's the simple way to explain it. So let me roll this up and then I'll be right back when it's done. As I'm getting to the end, there is something I wanted to show you. So we're rolling all the way to the end. Keep rolling. I'll show you the bottom here. Okay, and I know I'm at the end when I have this little circle kind of, I call it a hat. This little hat. So this is what the bottom looks like. Okay, and this is where we're going to put the glue or whatever you're using to stick it down, and we fold it over like so. Okay, does that make sense? Glue and stick it on. So there's a couple ways you could do it. I like them to be a little more open, so sometimes people will glue it immediately after they're done rolling it. what I do is I fold it to the shape I like it. I place it down and I kind of let it like unravel a little bit. Okay, so I like it like that. So we take your hot glue gun, and on the little cap, hat, whatever you want to call it, the lid of it, we're going to add glue. I add a generous amount because it's going to go over all of this. And then you're going to just put the lid on it, put the little hat on it. So I folded it over, and I'm just going to hold it in place for a few moments while the glue dries. Okay, and there we go. So now what I can do, depending what kind of look I'm going for, I could leave it like this, or you could take your fingers and start pressing it out a little bit. So this is to the point that I like it. Another thing I want to mention, if you are using a hot glue gun, there's going to be those little glue stringy things. Just leave it. And then at the end, once they're all fully dry and glued onto here, is when I go in. I usually take my weeding tool and I kind of just pull out the little strands of glue, if that makes sense, the ones that are sticking up. So I have this one. The next step is to go ahead and just repeat this step for all of the ones that I'm doing to fill that large shadow box that I have right here. So once I'm done that, then I just add some hot glue to, I'm going to remove this, and that felt part at the back, the backing, not the glass, but the backing, is where I'm going to add some hot glue and stick it down, and then I just layer them however I want. You could do them in a row, a pattern, whatever. This one I just randomly did. And then when you have your shadow box, you could leave it like this, like I did. You could add a fun little decal with some vinyl. I've done that for Mother's Day, which came out beautifully. And again, with the decal, you could do it on the inside of the frame, on the glass. If you do that, make sure you mirror the image so it's reversed. That way when you're looking at it on the frame, it's the correct way. Otherwise, you could just put it on the top of the frame as well, on the glass, and then add the vinyl like that. So you have options. It is a really fun project and it turned out so beautifully. I just wanted to share that with you because as a beginner, you can do this. I did this when I was a beginner, and though it was a little bit time consuming as I was learning, it's so fun now that I know how to do it, and just really easy to do. So let me know if you do end up trying this in the comments down below, or if you think you would be interested in trying something like this. Also, please feel free to let me know if you have any other tutorials or things you need me to explain or would like to learn. I would be so happy to show that to you. So please feel free to let me know. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. That really helps my channel and just me keep creating content. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now, crafters.